There are roughly 1 billion people in the world who don't get enough food, who don't have clean drinking water, who don't have electricity, the things that we take for granted. The world is getting better, but it's not getting better fast enough. And it's not getting better for everyone. The bottom billion misses the benefits of the global economy. 2013 will mark close to 50 years of UNDP in Uganda, supporting the country in its development efforts. This is the story of how UNDP is helping to make this happen in Uganda.
Good evening, dear listener. You're still tuned to Nena FM. We've been telling you all along that we shall be having Madam Speaker in the studio.
Our objective is to be close to the population, to understand their needs, to understand their challenges, so that as we are planning, as we are debating, as we are allocating resources, as we are making laws, what we do is relevant to the population.
Parliamentary outreach to me means that citizen institution reaching out to the people, building and linking closely with the citizen, and getting a feedback directly from the people.
This project aims at making sure that government delivers services to the people according to the budget which Parliament passes and the amount of monies which have been appropriated or given to government in a particular financial year.
We make legislation for the local governments, we make budgets for the local governments, we plan for the whole country, but it's important to get a feel of what it is they really need and what need to improve. So it's really getting to know our clients, so to speak.
So this workshop is so enriching because we have come out with resolutions on some of the issues that have been neglected for quite a long time. So I see my people will go to benefit in terms of lobbying government at the national level to try and give policy attention to people of Moroto and Karamoja in general.
The key milestones has been the whole aspect of taking Parliament to the public and also enabling an interface between the national parliament and the district local parliaments.
We also work very closely with the Ministry of Local Government in implementing programs that are aimed at strengthening the capacity of local government administration across the country by looking at their development planning, their budgeting, and their ability to deliver services.
DMAT is the development of inclusive markets in agriculture and trade. DMAT is a 4-year agriculture and trade project. It addresses farmers' problems as far as accessing markets is concerned.
The project strategy to addressing these challenges is to create linkages between these farmers, particularly their produce organizations, with buyers on the one hand, and also the same linkages with those who support them in terms of services and access to inputs that they need.
Then a carmo carangage, one organization, Mama Gibian Wayne, uno go Jimmy wo, Wawilo, Ero King, a Gicher Pegitimu Gimama 12. Kirmawan and Kerpa Payer, my UNDP, and Kirwani. Mean a worker penny la Pugata de Chual Jimmy Kirego, he took a wheel now short, my pet of re or my balle, one any bed over me care, Kilpumi, Medekipu, and no choke don't care, Gonya.
We provide the resources to facilitate the meetings and the discussions and the negotiations. And we also provide support for ensuring that the linkages work in terms of the quality assurance, in terms of other capacity gaps that might be identified between a particular linkage.
So that we are only a catalyst for a short time, and then when we step out, they can continue on that trajectory.
The purpose of the program is to ensure that the farmer is integrated fully into the value chain for the maximum benefit of what he produces. We are developing, with the assistance of World Tourism Organization, the Tourism Master Plan for Uganda. We are also looking at the tourism strategy for Uganda, including an investment plan. Now, at the same time as we're developing the policy, we are also looking at what are the pilots that we need to look at and support. That is community tourism.
I'll give you an example. You'll find that hotels are not in every part of the country. But for example, if we approach it from the perspective of a homestay, where you find that you have got local communities accommodating a tourist. So the first thing you'll need actually is that you need a clean environment, a safe environment, and then also you need the type of people who have got actually an attitude of customer care. So that at the end of the day, if this tourist has got a good experience, he's now able to go and talk about it, and that will actually you create that ripple effect.
And that is the reason why we as UNDP consider this sector as a critical sector for our support. It creates jobs, it protects the environment, and it makes Uganda stand out on the map of Africa as the pearl of Africa.
The Strategy and Policy Unit, as the name says, is a unit which is supposed to be providing strategic advice to a number of agents or actors, government and also senior management in UNDP and the UN country team in Uganda. Perhaps one of the most interesting pieces of work we are currently involved in is this capacity development project with the Ministry of Finance to bring to Uganda this tool, this modeling tool that allows to do very sophisticated analysis of the links between the economy, between society and the environment. It's an economy-wide model, a mathematical model, which is you use through a specific software and use real data and allows you to run projections and simulations of where Uganda will be if certain policies are implemented. The Millennium Development Goals reports are a critical monitoring tool. It helps all stakeholders in Uganda, from government to civil society, private sector, development partners, parliament, to individual citizens, to monitor progress in achieving the MDGs.
Millennium Development Goals were designed globally for implementation at the country level. The difference with the post-2015 development agenda is for countries to now set those development targets themselves, so that they are then amalgamated into a global goals that countries can then identify them.
Basically, Karamoja has been of importance to UNDP because of the issue of peace. This area has been dealing in cattle raiding. There's been a lot of conflicts within the region as a result of sharing resources, scarce resources in terms of cattle. And because of that scarcity, communities have developed conflicts amongst themselves, and because of that, peace has been jeopardized. So UNDP has come in basically to deal with the causes of lack of peace in the region.
Lopusuk Quarrying Group, formed to give cattle rustlers an alternative way of life through quarrying.
UNDP
With the money accumulated through quarrying, the group has been able to extend loans to its members, which can be used to buy livestock, replacing cattle rustling.
By the
end of 2012, we had close to 112 groups with close to 120 million saved.
Poverty is one cause that, one reason that people get into conflict. So basically UNDP dealt with the causes and helped the youth groups get ways and means of earning a living and being at peace.
The Sustainable Land Management Program has the overall goal of providing the basis for economic development, food security, and sustainable energy development. The Obume Group, Chiinda Farmers Cooperative Society, and Buyanja Sanitation Group are examples of community-based organizations that have benefited from the Sustainable Land Management Program.
For us as Obume Group, we wrote a proposal on a construction of biogas digesters. Where I'm standing right now is the digester, the biogas digester. The design here is such that the temperatures must be a little bit high, in the range of 25 to 30 degrees Celsius. That's when the digestion takes place better. The gas that is trapped on top of the biomass in the digester is piped off to the kitchen, where it is utilized for cooking and lighting.
In terms also of sustainable livelihoods is to look at other sources of energy that can be utilized at the family and household level. But that must also inform the greater policy initiative that is sustainable energy for all.
The other component of the project was rainwater harvesting facilities. As you realize, this area is water stressed. The biogas itself, the dung which we mix, needs a lot of water. So water is a must in order to have this project running.
Ekibiina ekitaka kigiiremu nkaninza kutaha amaizi kandi tinyine maani nkuba omurwaire bakanshemeza ngaruka nza kushenya abaana tibariho amaisho omuyikaguzamu nteeka omuyikaguza omu maisho gafwa hati amaizi ningatahira aha kisasi ninteeka ninyeteekera ka chai ninteekaho ebyokurya.
When farmers learn to recycle nutrients, when you feed the cow with grass, but use the dung to generate power as a source of energy for you to cook, it means you save the forest, which you are going to use when you are cooking, but also reduce the amount of gases that would be produced from your deforestation activities, and also you have a cleaner environment to cook in, so you have healthier people. Sustainable land management is also about how you use the small piece of land that you have to produce continuously. UNDP's programs on sustainable land management have targeted to see that land becomes more productive, sustains its productivity even during drought.
Conservation agriculture has been very successful in these communities which are in the dryland areas in terms of increasing the yield and also being able to maintain soil fertility and water within those dry areas.